Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 11, The Transcendental Qualities of Vitrasura, verse number 23. Traivargikaya vigatamasma patirvidhate purushasya shakra tato numeyo bhagavat prasado yo durlabho kinchana gocharonyehi. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Our Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, forbids His devotees to endeavor uselessly for religion, economic development, and sense gratification. O Indra, one can thus infer how kind the Lord is. Such mercy is obtainable only by unalloyed devotees, not by persons who aspire for material gains. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. There are four objectives in human life, namely religiosity, dharma, economic development, artha, sense gratification, kama, and liberation, moksha, from the bondage of material existence. People generally aspire for religiosity, economic development, and sense gratification, but a devotee has no other desire than to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead both in this life and in the next. The special mercy for the unalloyed devotee is that the Lord saves him from the hard labor to achieve the results of religion, economic development, and sense gratification. Of course, if one wants such benefits, the Lord certainly awards them. Indra, for example, although a devotee, was not much interested in release from material bondage. Instead, he desired sense gratification and a high standard of material happiness in the heavenly planets. Vitrasura, however, being an unalloyed devotee, aspired only to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the Lord arranged for him to go back to Godhead after his bodily bondage was destroyed by Indra. Vitrasura requested Indra to release his thunderbolt against him as soon as possible so that both he and Indra would benefit according to their proportionate advancement in devotional service. So these are the words being spoken by Vitrasura to Indra. This chapter is entitled The Transcendental Qualities of Vitrasura. Vitrasura has appeared as a demon, but we know he was actually a great devotee, Chitraketu, in his previous life, and due to the curse of Mother Parvati, he became a demon, but he maintains his transcendental position of complete knowledge of the absolute truth, and the words that he is speaking is a testimony to how enlightened this demon Vitrasura is. So here, what are the qualities that comes out in this verse? He's saying, so the background is that the fight between Indra, the demons and the demigods are going on. Indra has been defeated by the demons and he wants to regain his heavenly kingdom. Indra is only looking for material enjoyment. He is not aspiring to get liberated from this material world. Whereas Vitrasura is aspiring for liberation from this material world, and not just liberation, because liberation could also mean moksha, could also mean merging into the impersonal Brahman. He's actually wanting to go back to the spiritual world and serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's aiming for the highest. So both of them have their aims. Indra wants to win over and enjoy his heavenly kingdom, Indra Loka. Vitrasura wants to go back to Godhead. And so here in this verse, Vitrasura is requesting Indra to release his thunderbolt against him as soon as possible. So this is something very interesting. Nobody will ask his enemy, please release your weapon against me and kill me. But here Vitrasura is asking exactly this, Indra, please release your thunderbolt and kill me so that both of us will be happy. You will be happy by winning because that thunderbolt will kill me. And so you will be happy, you will attain this kingdom, and I'll be happy because I'll die and I know I'm going back to Godhead. How was Vitrasura so confident that he was going back to Godhead? Did he think, oh, I'm a great devotee, I'm an unalloyed devotee and I'm going back to Godhead? No, that is not what he was thinking. Vitrasura knew that this is not an ordinary thunderbolt. Before Indra is holding the thunderbolt, you look at Vitrasura's intelligence, how sharp and clear his mind, his thinking is, and you look at Indra's. Indra is having a doubt, should I release the thunderbolt? Can this thunderbolt really kill him? Why is having this doubt? Because before this, Indra had released the club. And that club, Vitrasura had just caught it like this and destroyed it. So Indra was taken aback. Oh my God, I released a club and the club had no effect on this demon. So now, if I release the thunderbolt, will it actually have any effect? Because the club had absolutely no effect. So this is the doubt of Indra. But there was a difference between that club and the thunderbolt now that he is holding, not yet released. That club was an ordinary club. That was the club belonging to Indra. But this thunderbolt is not an ordinary thunderbolt. This is the thunderbolt that has been given to Indra specifically by Narayana, with mantras of Narayana being chanted on it. God has given him, the Supreme Personality of God has given him this thunderbolt, and Indra is doubting whether this thunderbolt will do its job. But Vitrasura knows that now this thunderbolt is different because God has given him. And so if Lord's weapon kills me, my liberation is sure. So this is the conviction of Vitrasura, and we see his exalted thinking and his quality. So this is what he's saying in this verse. So further here, in this translation, it is said, God forbids his devotees from doing something. What does God forbid us from doing? He's forbidding us from doing something which the whole world is doing. What is the whole world doing? Dharma, artha, kama. Actually, dharma nobody is doing. They're simply doing artha and kama. Moksha also nobody will go because dharma itself is missing. So artha and kama will not lead to moksha. But everybody is endeavoring for artha and kama. And here God is forbidding us to endeavor after dharma, artha, kama. And he says, endeavor itself is a struggle. And he's saying this struggle is also useless. Endeavor uselessly for dharma, artha, kama. So this is Vitrasura knows that this endeavoring for dharma, artha, kama has got no meaning, because at the end of this endeavor we will meet with death, and the cycle of birth, death, old age, disease will again continue. That's why it's called an endeavor, because it is an endeavor, it is a struggle. Because for artha and kama, we need to endeavor in this material world. Without endeavoring, without struggling hard, we cannot gain happiness. We cannot, it's a hard struggle. That's what everybody thinks like that. We have to do. But actually, Srimad Bhagavatam tells us why are you endeavoring so hard just for these, struggling so hard? Because when one is born in this material world, his quota of happiness and distress is fixed. That is why this is called a useless endeavor. Endeavor which has no meaning, because your quota of happiness is fixed. So what is the use of endeavor? We should, and it is said, Prabhupada once in a lecture, he quoted one Bengali proverb, Jodi jao bonge, kopal jai shonge. Jodi jao bonge, it's a Bengali proverb, so Bengal is used. Bonge means Bengal. Jodi jao bonge. Don't think that if you go anywhere, your fate will also go with you. So once we are born with a certain karma, with a certain fate based on our past life activities, and we will get that. So there is no point in endeavoring uselessly for material pursuits because it's fixed. What we should endeavor after is endeavoring to become an unalloyed devotee. And this is what it is said, Durlabha akinchana gochara. This is the endeavor. How can I become an akinchana? Because if I become akinchana, an unalloyed devotee, then gochara, I will be able to understand the Supreme Lord, who is very difficult to understand. So human life is meant for endeavoring to become a pure devotee, so that I can become freed from the cycle of birth and death. We are not meant to endeavor for material desires, because they will anyway come on its own accord. Just like we do not endeavor to get into some difficult situation. We don't endeavor for sufferings, but sufferings come. In the same way, happiness will also come, because it is destined for me based on my past. So that's why Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridhavrataha. This is where endeavor must happen. Prabhupada writes very nicely in one lecture, he quotes this verse, and I will read this. Yatantascha dridhavrataha means yatan means endeavor. Endeavor with dridhavrataha, with great determination. For chanting, that should be our endeavor. So Prabhupada says, now you have got the right thing. What is the right thing we have got? This chanting. But now you have got it. But now after getting this chanting, what you should do? Now you have got the right thing. Now make it perfect. Chanting is there, but you have to make it perfect. How? Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridhavrataha, with great vow and endeavor. Kirtana should go on, then it is perfect. With great vow and endeavor, Kirtana should go on, then it is perfect. Oh, with great vow and endeavor, it appears very difficult? No. The next line Prabhupada says, there is no difficulty. There is no difficulty, because chanting, that's why Prabhupada always says, chanting is very simple, but one must practice it very seriously. Many times we have heard this line. It is very simple, because chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, not at all difficult. But you've got it, this chanting. But we have to make it perfect, and unless and until we chant with great vow and endeavor, it will not become perfect, and it is very easy to make it perfect. These are the lines, the words of Srila Prabhupada, and we must have firm faith in it. Then it will become perfect. There is no difficulty. And then he says, so if you are engaged, satatam in kirtanam, then you are safe. Once one devotee asked Prabhupada, I am always chanting. Suppose the devotee is always chanting the Satatam Kirtanam, but still he is not able to overcome the influence of Maya. Material thoughts are flooding his mind, sex thoughts are flooding his mind. How do you overcome this, Prabhupada? Prabhupada says, then you have to chant more seriously. Again the same thing, great vow and endeavor. Satatam is there, but great vow and endeavor is required. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in giving that 61 explanations of the Atma Rama verse, that famous 61 explanation, one of the explanation that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives of the meaning of Atma Rama is one who endeavors with endurance in devotional service is Atma Rama. Now one more word comes in, endeavoring with endurance. So this shows how we must perform devotional service. Devotional service, yes, I am performing devotional service, that is one thing. But endeavoring it is another thing. Endeavor means an effort is required, a concentrated effort is required, a struggle is required. Unless and until, just like in the material world, if you don't put effort, if you don't put struggle in something, you will not attain perfection, you will not attain success. Everybody is putting lot of endeavor and effort. You ask a student, we all know, we have all been students. So same thing has to happen for devotional service. And here Mahaprabhu saying, endeavoring with endurance. Endurance means perseverance, continuation, in spite of failures, continuing. So endeavoring, putting effort, struggle, and staying in that position with perseverance, continuing with effort. This is Atma Rama. And in this way, we must execute devotional service. So here, it is mentioned, there are 4 objectives in human life, namely religiosity, economic development, and sense gratification. And then further in the purport, Prabhupada is saying, but Vitrasura is saying that he wants to get freed from all these things and go back to the spiritual world. So, the 4 objectives of human life, namely religiosity, economic development, and sense gratification and liberation from the bondage of material existence, these are the 4 objectives of human life. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches us Panchama Purushartha, and that is how you become an unalloyed devotee, akinchana gochara, which is possible in this human form of life. So we know that famous conversation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with Praashandanda Sarasati, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was going to Vrindavan, on the way he had to cross Varanasi, and at that time he met Praashandanda Sarasati. This is a conversation where Praashandanda Sarasati, he is fixed in dharma, artha, kama, moksha, and he has his own understanding. He is a Mayavadi sannyasi. He has his own understanding of how you can attain moksha. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in a debate with him, tells him that dharma, artha, kama, moksha is not the goal in life. This is the Chhatura Purusha. There is a Panchama Purushartha, much higher, and that is what we must be endeavoring after. So, that conversation. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stops at Varanasi, and then he hears false accusations of Praashandanda Saraswati and his disciples. They call Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Bhavuka Sannyasi. Bhavuka Sannyasi means he's just a sentimentalist. Actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was displaying real sentiments, not false sentiments. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu hears this, he's fixed, he's absorbed in going to Vrindavan, and he's thinking of Radha Krishna, and so Mahaprabhu just ignores this. He knows that these are false accusations. He goes to Vrindavan and finishes his pilgrimages and then returns back. He decides that on my way back, I will handle this situation. So he comes back, and that time he stays in the house of Chandrasekhar Acharya, and he was dining in the house of Tapan Mishra, and these 2 devotees were also, very disturbed and full of anxiety that our dear Lord, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is being falsely accused of being a sentimentalist. They knew that our Lord is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he was actually displaying true emotions. So he wanted Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that he should, defeat the Mayavadis. The Mayavadis have their own understanding, and which is false. They are all fixed up in this meditation on, the Brahman and dry philosophical speculation. So then it so happens that by the will of the providence, a Brahmana comes to invite Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Brahmana invites Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to come and accept bhiksha in his house. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepts the invitation, although generally Mahaprabhu wouldn't accept invitation from anyone, and especially when he knew that those Mayavadi sannyasis will also be in that house for bhiksha. So Mahaprabhu took this as an opportunity to meet those sannyasis and to explain to them the real philosophy and to correct their understanding. So Mahaprabhu goes to the house of this Brahmana, and all the Mayavadi sannyasis were sitting in that place, headed by Praashandanda Sarasati, and Mahaprabhu arrives there, and he goes there, and it's a custom that before you enter the house, you wash your feet. So Mahaprabhu washed his feet, and after washing the feet at the entrance of the house, Mahaprabhu does not go up, but he's sitting there in that feet washing area only. And at that point of time, Mahaprabhu exhibits, he is the Supreme Lord. He had come there to teach the Mayavadi sannyasis what is true philosophy and to correct their understanding. So Mahaprabhu, he exhibits a brilliant illumination from within himself. Maha Tejo Maya Prakash. So seeing his brilliant, mystic, effulgence, all the sannyasis realize that he is not an ordinary person. So Praashandanda Sarasati very respectfully comes near. He gets up from his place and he comes and near Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he tells Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, please come and sit with us. Why are you sitting here in this unfit place? They all become very respectful because Mahaprabhu exhibits this. He wanted to correct them genuinely. So then Mahaprabhu goes with them. Initially Mahaprabhu says, no, I am not fit to be within your company. You are all very exalted sannyasis. I am fit to remain in this place only. But then finally, because Praashandanda Sarasati very respectfully came, Mahaprabhu, liked that. And he goes, and then together they are seated. And then there is a conversation. So Praashandanda Saraswati said that you are a sannyasi, and Mahaprabhu had taken sannyasi from Keshava Bharati, which is the Shankara sect. We know that history. So Praashandanda Saraswati said, you are a sannyasi. Sannyasi's dharma is dhyana, Vedanta Pathan, meditation on the impersonal Brahman, reading Vedanta. You are not doing all these things, and you are simply chanting and dancing and singing. What is this? These are not the occupations of a sannyasi. Sannyasi should do dhyana and Vedanta. So what does Mahaprabhu reply? Actually, if you analyze properly, they are saying that Praashandanda Saraswati is saying that you should read Vedanta and meditate on, and Vedanta is the highest. You are not reading Vedanta. If you see our reading of Srimad Bhagavatam, what does Srimad Bhagavatam say? Sarva Vedanta Saram Hi Sri Bhagavatam Ishyate. So Praashandanda is saying you should read Vedanta, but the essence of Vedanta is the Srimad Bhagavatam. Sarva Vedanta Saram, essence. Sri Bhagavatam Ishyate, it is Bhagavatam. And in the Bhagavatam what is said? Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, Smaranam Pada Sevanam. So as per Praashananda's own logic, if we have to read Vedanta, the highest conclusion of Vedanta is Shravanam Kirtanam, which is what devotees are doing, which is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was doing along with his devotees. That they do not know. So Mahaprabhu said this, and then Mahaprabhu says, he takes on a very humble position. He said, you are telling me to read Vedanta. Actually, in today's day and age, nobody can understand Vedanta philosophy because Vedanta are very complex sutras, And you require a high degree of scholarship and erudition to actually understand. Bhagavatam clearly says that it is chanting and hearing which is the real philosophy or the real process for liberation in this age. So Mahaprabhu says, when I went to Guru and I asked him, shall I read Vedanta? Guru told me, no, you should not read Vedanta because you are a fool, you will not understand Vedanta. Guru mora murkho dekhi korilo shasana. Murkho tumi tomar nahi go Vedanta adhikar. Krishna mantra japo sada ei mantra sar. Murkho tumi. Actually, Chaitanya, this is how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu presented. Ishwara Puri, his guru, told him like that. Of course, we know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not Murkha. He is the most intelligent person. He is Nimai Pandit. We know his story of how he defeated Keshava Kashmiri. He was the most, but even the most intelligent, the supreme personality of Godhead himself is saying that I am a fool. I cannot read Vedanta, because he came down as a devotee and he wanted to teach the religion of the sage. So he presented himself like this. Prabhupada also says, a disciple, this is a very important consciousness we should maintain. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Lord, is saying that Guru mora murkho dekhi korilo shashana. He saw me a fool. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, this is what a disciple should think always, that a disciple should remain everlastingly a fool in front of the spiritual master. And then he says, however, okay, I am everlasting a fool. I know I make up like this. No, he says, Prabhupada says further, feelingly, he should remain everlasting a fool. Not artificially, but feelingly. Then he is solidly situated on the path of devotional service. So we must always remember this. I am actually a fool. We should not become puffed up. I am doing great. You may be doing service, big service. But always remain in this humble humble consciousness. When we remain in this humble consciousness, our progress will be very swift. So his guru further told him all these things. Krishna mantra hoite hobe, samsara mochana, Krishna naam hoite pabe, Krishnera charana. By chanting Krishna mantra, you will get liberated from this material world. Krishna naam hoite pabe, Krishnera charana. And simply by chanting the holy name of Krishna, you will attain the lotus feet of Krishna. Naam vinu kali kale nahi ar dharma, sarva mantra sar naam e shastra marma. Sarva mantra sar, the essence of all the mantras put together that we have in all the Vedic literatures, is the sara, the essence of all mantra is the holy name. Naam vinu kali kale ar nahi dharma. This is the only dharma of Kali Yuga, chanting the holy names. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Namaiva Kevalam, Kalau Nasteva, 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 Gathir Anyatha. So Mahaprabhu says, this is the order I got from my spiritual master. Don't read Vedanta. You're telling me to read Vedanta, but the spiritual master told me you chant the holy name. So I started chanting. And now what happened when I started chanting? E agya paya nam loinu anukshana. I received this order and so I continuously started chanting Hare Krishna. But what happened? Nam loite loite mora bhranta hoilo mana. Chanting the holy name, I became bewildered. Bhranta hoilo mana. Bhranta hoilo mana means bewildered. Mind got bewildered. So, he said, while chanting in pure ecstasy, I lose myself, I laugh, I cry, I sing and dance just like a madman. So collecting my patience, I thought chanting has covered all my knowledge. I've become mad. It has covered because I don't know what's happening to me. So then I went back to my spiritual master and I said, because my mind has got bewildered, it was a spiritual bewilderment, not material bewilderment. So then Mahaprabhu is telling, he goes back to Ishwara Puri's spiritual master and he says, what kind of a mantra you have given me, my dear spiritual master? Kiba mantra dila goshai, kiba tar ball. What kind of mantra you have given me? What is its power? Kiba tar ball. Jopite jopite mantra korilo pagal. That by chanting this mantra, I am going mad. And then Ishwara Puri says that Krishna Nama Maha Mantrer Eito Swabhav Jai Jape Tar Upajay Bhav. You are saying you have become mad. My dear disciple, my dear devotee, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this is real spiritual madness, which is the true position of every jiva. Krishna Nama Mahamantra, this is the nature. Anandamayo Bhyasat, the Vedanta Sutra. What does it say? Anandamayo Bhyasat. It is our natural function. Abhyasa means it's being situated on the platform of an ocean of Ananda is natural to us. It is not unnatural to us. That is our nature. So to attain something that is natural to us should not be difficult. This is simple logic. I am trying to become a pure devotee. I am trying to become an unalloyed devotee, to engage in pure devotional service. This is natural. This is our natural function. So it should not be difficult. And that is why the process is also so easy. Just chanting the holy name. Only thing is we have to do it seriously. Everything has been made very easy in this age of Kali. But we have to seriously do it. If we do not take it seriously, then Krishna will see that I've given him the easiest thing, but he's not serious about it. He's endeavoring for material pursuits, so then let that be. But if we become serious, it is not at all difficult. So Krishna, and then this verse comes, today's verse, we are talking of Chaturtha Purushartha. Now, Ishwara Puri tells Chaitanya Mahaprabhu this, Panchama Purushartha. This Panchama Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha is the 4 Purusharthas. There is something higher than that, Panchama Purushartha. And what this Panchama Purushartha is? It is the stage of Prema Ananda Amrita Sindhu. Just look at the Premananda Amrita Sindhu. For Prema, it is love of God. Ananda, it is full of bliss. Amrita, it is nectar. And the quantum is like a Sindhu, like an ocean. Mokshadi Ananda Yare Nahi Ek Bindu. The Dharma, Artha, Kama, and then Moksha. That Mokshadi Yara Nahe Ek Bindu. The pleasure in Moksha is like a drop of water. And the pleasure in this Panchama Purushartha, which is Prema, it is Anandamrita Sindhu. It is like an ocean. And then further he says, Krishna Namer Fal, by chanting the Krishna Nama, the Phala, the fruit is Prema. And who says this? Sarva Shastra Kaye. All scriptures are saying this. Bhagye Shei Prem Tomai Korilo Udaye. Krishna Namer Phala Prem Sarva Shastra Kaye. Bhagye Shei Prem Tomare Korilo Udaye. And you're very fortunate that you have become the recipient of this prema. And so Mahaprabhu tells further, Praashandanda, Eitar Vakyami Dhrida Vishwasa Dhari Nirantara Krishna Nam Sankirtana Kari. So this is the most important thing. Eitar Vakyami, whatever the spiritual master has told him, I take it seriously. Dhrida Vishwasa. Yatantascha Dridha Vrataha. Satatam Kirtayanto Mam Yatantascha Dridha Vrata. Here Mahaprabhu is also saying, Tar Vakyami Dridha Vishwasa Dhari. So this should be our conviction, that this holy name can give me anything and everything. And what I am situated now is like a drop, not even a drop. Moksha is actually drop. We are not even there. And this can give me Prema Ananda Amrita Sindhu. So this should be our conviction. And when we have this conviction, then first is this conviction, and then chanting as per this conviction, following the rules and regulations that Prabhupada has given us. It is not at all difficult, because we should know this is our natural position. And when he said this, So Shei hoite sannyasira firi gela man Krishna Krishna nam sada karae grahanan. And all the sannyasis, all the Mayavadi sannyasis, mind got changed, and all of them started chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then we know there's a big Maha Sankirtan in Varanasi, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did, and all the Mayavadi sannyasis joined in that Maha Sankirtan. They all got faith that chanting is the only way for progress in this age, and they were all transformed into Vaishnavas. So this is the faith that we must have, as Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami puts. What is that faith? Shraddha Shabde, Vishwasa Kahe. Shraddha means faith. Shraddha Shabd. What does this Shabd, Shraddha mean? Vishwasa. It means that faith, and what kind of faith? Sudridha Nishchaya. Again the word that Dridha comes. So, and this time Sudridha. Firm faith, Nishchaya, completely convinced that Krishna Bhakti kaile sarva karma krita hoya. If you perform Krishna Bhakti, primarily by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, sarva karma krita hoya, all we will bear, all our actions will be successful, all our desires will be met, and finally we will go back to Godhead. So this is Akinchana Gochara. So here we see that Vitrasura, a great devotee, he has this realization. He wants to go back to Godhead, and he's waiting to give up his body by the thunderbolt of Indra. Not thunderbolt of Indra. Indra is only going to release it. Is the thunderbolt of Vishnu. So this life, this human form of life is very valuable. It is very, very short-lived and very rare. And in this short, rare human form of life, our goal should be to reach that stage, Panchama Purushartha, by chanting the holy name of Krishna and thereby returning back to Godhead. And it is not at all difficult. It is very easy. We just need to have faith and practice this process with all sincerity and seriousness. We'll end here. Grantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande.